So these people have no ammunition to turn you in, to get you investigated, to get your iPad took. These people didn't know that. But you're giving them fruit to do shit just like that, to take her iPad. Take your iPad in jail is a big deal. That's not small.
Right.
Okay, and I agree. Right, let me get that.
No, you fine. Unless somebody wants to get up. Oh.
Well, no, I'm trying to get ready for work. I'm trying to get ready for work. But I totally agree. I totally agree. It is a big thing when you're in jail. It is. Especially when you know you're going down. When you're going down. I already know my sins. I'm doing 30 days. I only got, 2 weeks left?
Yeah, I just wouldn't. I guess, like you said, everybody's different. Two things can't be right. This is your right. You know what I'm saying? This is how you think and how you would do it. And Edge got her way. I have my way. I wouldn't give them anything. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be giving them nothing. I want to lay in my bed, even though, I'm not at home. So I got to make this as comfortable for me as possible to do this 30 days. Okay. So now I'll go to the cash apps. Okay. So that was the thing about the cash app. Can you collect cash apps while incarcerated? And the answer to that is no.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I guess as long as she's not asking for cash apps, then you can't do it. But I think somebody else, they don't know where you're getting the money from. Somebody else is doing it.
Well, let me say
They don't know
this.
where you're getting it as long as she doesn't ask for herself.
Let me say this.
Because when you put money on the books, nobody knows where the money's coming from.
Okay, no.
Nobody knows where the money's coming from when it hits the books.
No, she can get money on her books. That's not the thing. She can get money on her books. Bigo, let's go back to Bigo. Bigo is not allowed to do third party on Bigo. Period. That's Bigo. Now, I heard this.
Federal offense, you can get into a lot of trouble for doing that. Cash App will take your account. And like Andrew was saying, they don't listen to everyone's call, but just that one call, they can hear you asking, hey, what's the Cash App name? Stuff like that. So that's a federal offense. You get into a lot of trouble for doing
that. Okay, I didn't know that, but I know that on Bigo, you can't ask for CA. That's why they say candy apple. That's why they got all these different names, because Bigo does not allow it. But then they switched it up and they said, well, what's the link to her commissary or whatever it's called? They say, okay, what's the link to that? Okay, but now going back to it, why even be on here and then telling your husband what line with this person? And then they're talking about the case in a roundabout way, JP. And then they're talking about it in a roundabout way. I think that's too much. They're giving too much. And this is just all of our opinion. We're not dragging anyone. This is just our opinion. Right. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, it's just opinion. Yeah, it's just opinions. That's it.
Exactly.
Alrighty.
Exactly. All right, but thank you.
No problem.
Okay, so apparently, I guess it was a thing, and then what's his name? What's the guy's name? What is his name? The video guy, Truth Teller. So apparently, Truth Teller called and said his wife was incarcerated, and could she get, whatever? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I would get off of here, to be honest. If I could watch movies, I'd be watching my movies, talking to my children, seeing what I got, I would just be under the radar, period. And even after the court date that they had, I wouldn't have got on here. I wouldn't have got on here. And then she wouldn't have been on that panel, on that 3x3 with, and who pulled her up in that 3x3? Somebody pulled her up in that 3x3. I don't remember who that was that pulled her up in that 3x3. She should have never been in that 3x3. Okay, that's what she got for it. And then she threatened the lady, the other person. She threatened her. So, if anybody else has something they want to chime in on, definitely jump up in the box. You know, we just give an opinion. You know, pretty much. You know, I'm glad nobody got hurt in that incident. Okay, I'm just gonna thank you, Jesse. Yeah, guys, I am in my rebate. I'm in my rebate. If you guys could show some love, I would appreciate it. If you guys could show a little love, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, do me a favor, Miss Janice. Could you slide over there to YT? Guys, if you're not following me on YT, could you please go over to my YT channel and follow Uncensored with the Glam podcast? Uncensored with the Glam podcast, okay? But yeah, so anybody has anything else they want to add? But you know what? My ex-husband, okay, you're there, okay. My ex-husband would not have even taken me. You know, he wouldn't have, hey, sister girl, he would not have taken me. You know what I'm saying? For the first part, he would have been like, "Hey, no, we ain't go." No, but everybody's different. Everybody, you know, that's what they did. That's what they chose to do. Hey, Janet, that's what they chose to do. Now, I heard that the phone call is on Rumble. I heard the phone call is yeah, because he was at work. I heard he was at work, y'all, when this happened. Yeah, I heard he was at work. Okay, 1 second. Somebody got the call. And then another thing. How did we know that Jazzy Cherry made a police report while in jail? Oh no, the day before, February 27th. She made some type of report. See, it's just too much information, guys, to me. To me, it's too much information. They don't need to be knowing all of that.
AI stock play quietly, making early investors rich, and it has everything to do with Elon Musk's late.
Fuck that TV.
You can't though, because you're doing this shit in front of this live. Okay? And I'm about to beat your ass up in here. I'm telling you right now, you're doing too much goofy ass shit. You are. These people can hear you. I'm not gonna tell your goofy ass that no more. I'm not. No, I'm not finna mute it because I'm live. And I told the retired motherfucker that these people gonna be thinking they can play with you. So they gonna play with you, not me. You ain't that retarded. Motherfuckers say shit a joke. They have to see shit for what it is. And I'm
my attorney, but like I said, mine is still in trial today. So, right. So I'm just waiting for her to be done with that, and she can get back.
Trading places with her. Just don't tell all your business. Don't let the app know what's going on. You got 1.1K over there. I got 1.1K over here. So there it is, 2,200 people listening to what's going on, plus everybody else that's double B going. So just keep on putting big on all your business, child.
I'm excited.
Just keep on.
You know, dealing with all the bullshit and that haters out there just envious of you because you're so anointed.
See, that's not good
He did
advice.
say something important. Who knew that his case was in trial today?
Right.
Who knew that? Why do we got to know that people write emails for them? Y'all don't know that it's the small conversations like this that got her ass locked up and in jail. They use Rumble videos against her in fucking court.
Right.
They use Rumble videos. Tommy K was sending in all them damn videos. What's wrong with y'all? That's why they just canceled the woman's visitation for him going live the other day saying Peaches got visitation this Sunday, but mine haven't been approved yet. That's all they need to hear.
Right. Right.
Right.
Thank you.
Lady B so jealous that woman talking to her husband. Lady B looking like, get her up for my knee. Why you talking to my knee?
Thank you. And that was another thing they were talking about, that with them being lined, I guess.
Ooh, wait, child, y'all can see that. Girl, Lady B wants that man.
Yeah, it sounds like everybody is jealous. Everybody is jealous because everybody want a piece of your sunshine.
Even Lady B. Lady B wants that man. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you get somebody to teach you how to play casino yet? I want to whoop your ass.
Man, Lady B wants that man, child. Lady B said,
Casino is.
Lady B said, he's Dominican. You Dominican, right? He said, no, I ain't no Dominican. I'm American. She said, oh, okay. I thought you were Dominican.
Slim, my little ass. Oh my god.
Okay, 1 second. Truth Teller was trying to go into Messy Carter's live.
So thankful. What did you tell her? I told her that y'all sitting over there worrying about everybody worrying about her. She didn't stop getting everybody. You said she was Lovejoy. You the one put that mess out there. She was Lovejoy. You the one put that mess out there. She was Lovejoy, and she's not Lovejoy. And I told her to stop gifting. Y'all keep talking about gifters, and I told her to stop gifting all y'all. Y'all keep bringing up gifters. Y'all keep bringing up gifters. Nobody keep bringing up gifters. Because y'all trading and all that, nobody needs to keep bringing up gifters. I said what I said. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Let's go. I'm talking about people need to stop gifting. You know, I'm saying, you need to stop. Why you want to start this? Why you want to start this? Trina, why you want to start this? Yeah, why you want to start this as a Vigo Rush? So it don't matter.
No.
Now the Vigo Rush is on the start now.
The Vigo Rush can be whatever it want to be.
The girl said that you can't be in a Vigo Rush program and be on the star list. Okay, the girls can say what they want to say. You see me, don't you?
Thank you. Yes, guys.
In other words, the girls are saying that you are an official host.
No, I'm not an official host.
That's what they're saying.
No, I'm not.
They be worried about the wrong thing.
You can't, but you can't be on the star list?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
But, okay. Anywho, first of all, I come back thankful. I have no issues with her. She should have came to me, honestly, if she felt like I did something wrong or something like that.
Yes.
I'm a very easy person to talk to.
No, came to me. She came to me and said, Miss Carter said that thankful is what's up? So thankful got up in my box and gave a voice and said, no, I am not Lovejoy. And then thankful down there, she was down there in the comments And she made it clear. She said people be in her inbox telling her not to give, who not to give. People be in the inbox. I don't know who she was talking about. She said people be in the inbox saying certain stuff in certain groups and all that, and people be doing all kind of stuff. And she was down there
Didn't you call her out?
I
think he did.
Why would you call her out for?
No.
Why would you call her out?
No, I did not call her out. I didn't call her out. I didn't call her out at all. I said that the girl said that they came over there telling me that that thankful for love you. So I called somebody behind the scenes to know that knows what's going on to ask what that love you. They said they didn't know what it was, and then thankful came up in my box.
Got it all the way
And then said, I am not in love joy. Then Thankful got down in the comments, and after she said that, Thankful got down in the comments, and she was rapping and raving. She was very upset because people keep worrying about
who she
who
is.
is who is what, right. Trying to find out
that means gift is not even
and all that, and all y'all, and then I'm sick of everybody attacking gifters.
Be gone.
Listen, I'm not attacking her. Okay, I need her to come out loud. So
all right, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Because
we definitely
she's
appreciate
not
you.
Joy, she got up in the box. I'll apologize to her. That's it. And I'll just leave it right then and there. I will certainly do that. But you were wrong for calling her out saying that she has a gift that you You don't say that.
I was calling everybody out. If you're going to be in my room, in my face, I'm going to call everybody out. I don't want to know. If you're going to be in my room every day, if you're going to be in my room, I'm calling you out. I'm not wrong. If you're going to be in my room, let me tell you one thing about me. This is 2026. I'm not going to play with nobody and no phone in this baby. If you're going to be up in my room and you ain't gave me a penny and you got a gift and everybody else, I'm calling you out.
Oh,
and they go for everybody.
Wait a minute.
And that go for everybody.
Oh,
and that go for everybody from now on. You sitting up in my room. Every day, whenever you come in my room and you have not thrown me a gift, I think you got a problem with me, so I'm going to call you out. What's going on? Huh? What is it? What did I do to you?
But they can give to they want to give.
I don't know, child. Oh, that's very thin. Honestly.
And I mean every word of it. Y'all need to stop. There ain't no phonies with me. Because I ain't going to sit around and like I don't feel a certain type of way when I did.
Okay, this is how I do it because I see people in here that do the same thing. I feel them. But I ignore it, and I just, and eventually they come back. And they have nothing in the word. But you have to keep it. You cannot pull it out.
I knew it for 3 or 6, 7, 8 months. And then when they say something down in the comments, that's when I check.
Okay, I'm going to go back to my video.
If you're going to be in my room, give me your opinion, just be quiet then. If you're going to be in my room, give me your opinion.
We're going back to my video, guys. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you so much, okay? All right, so we did talk about 2 things this morning. One was Michael B, okay? One was Michael B. He is the young 52-year-old restaurant owner out of Detroit, Michigan. So we did discuss that. We're going to keep up with that story because they're still investigating. They don't know what happened, actually. 2 were injured, were across the street, okay? So they're trying to say, hey, why were they across the street? Was he running? was, were they trying to rob him? They just don't know, but he was a pillar in the community. He gave, and he gave, so they're trying to see what happened. Now, the area he was in was not a really good area of Detroit. It used to be, but it's not now. Okay. Now, for those that did miss it, um, they have a pretty lengthy, investigation going on. It sounds like, okay, and that's all I can say is it sounds like. Now, my thing is, and this is just my observation. This is just for me what I read. Okay, did his friends have anything to do with this? And what would they gain if they did? Did his friends have anything to do with this?
There were messages upon messages online pouring out of love and memories and thank yous of Michael Brown, who owns Sloppy Chops behind me. Again, the message of his death rocking the community all throughout Detroit.
Let me ask you something. What does it take to build something from nothing in a city that the rest of the world gave up on? What does it take to turn a dream into a restaurant into a brand, and a brand into a movement? Mike B. Brown knew the answer to that question. He lived it every single day. And then one cold February morning, someone took it all away from him in seconds. It was 4:30 in the morning on February 28, 2026. Detroit's west side was quiet the way it only gets in the dead of winter. Streets empty, sky still dark. The kind of silence that makes you feel like the whole city is holding its breath. Outside the Sweet 100 cocktail bar on Schaefer Highway near Finkel Street, that silence was shattered by gunshots. 3 people were hit. 2 survived. Mike B. Brown was found across the street from the bar, alone, separated from the other victims. And he did not make it. Just like that, Detroit lost on its own. But before we go any further, if this is your first time here, welcome to Crime Files. Hit that like button, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you never miss a story. We cover the cases that matter, the people behind the headlines, and the communities left behind when justice hasn't shown up yet. Now, let's get into it. To understand what was lost that February morning, you had to go back, way back. Michael Brown did not grow up with a silver spoon. He grew up in Detroit. And if you know Detroit, you know that means you either find your hustle or the streets find you first. Mike found his hustle early. He started as a party promoter, which in Detroit is almost a rite of passage. You learn people. You learn energy. You learn how to read a room, how to make strangers feel like family, and how to build something out of nothing but a flyer and a vision. Mike was exceptional at all of it. From promoter, he moved into club ownership. He spent decades learning the nightlife business from the inside out, the good nights, the hard nights, the nights where you're counting quarters to make payroll. He understood the grind in a way that most people only read about. But somewhere along the way, Mike B started thinking bigger. He started thinking about food. He started thinking about legacy. In 2020, right in the middle of the global pandemic, when most people were shutting things down, Mike Brown opened Sloppy Chops on West McNichols, just off the Lodge Freeway. Let that sink in for a second. The whole world was falling apart. Businesses were closing left and right. And this man opened a steakhouse. That is not recklessness. That is faith. That is the kind of belief in yourself and your city that cannot be manufactured or faked. Sloppy Chops wasn't just a restaurant. It was a statement. It served high-end cuts, ribeyes, tomahawks, the kind of steaks you'd expect to find in an upscale downtown spot. But Mike kept it accessible. The lamb chop specials became legendary on the streets of Detroit. Affordable, delicious, packed with flavor, and packed with people who felt like they belonged there. That was the magic of what Mike built. You didn't have to be rich to feel like you were eating like royalty. A year later, he opened Sloppy Crab on East Jefferson Avenue, later renamed the Crab Sports Bar, downtown Detroit, right near the Renaissance Center. Celebrities started coming through. The energy was electric. People from all walks of life were showing up. Lawyers, artists, old heads, young hustlers, families. Mike had created something rare in any city, but especially in Detroit, a place where everybody felt welcome, where the food was serious, the drinks were strong, and the vibe was undeniable. Now here is something that tells you everything you need to know about who this man was. A food reviewer once posted a pretty harsh critique of sloppy chops online. Went viral. Most restaurant owners would have gone on defensive, argued back, maybe blocked the person. Not Mike B. He called that reviewer personally and said, "Everything you said was true. We have work to do. I want you to come back when we open our new location and we have our staff right. I appreciate you letting me know." The reviewer said they had never, in all their years of covering restaurants, had an owner respond like that. That one moment captured Mike B better than any award or accolade ever could. He was a father of five, a husband, a connector. People in Detroit would tell you that Mike made sure nobody around him went hungry, literally and figuratively. He hosted memorial services for free when families couldn't afford them. He employed people from the community who needed a second chance. He backed other Black-owned businesses and showed up for events, fundraisers, and causes that had nothing to do with his bottom line. DJ Motorcity, one of Detroit's most beloved DJs, put perfectly what he said Mike didn't just create a restaurant. He built opportunity, community, and a gathering place where people from all walks of life could come together. So now we come back to February 28th. And this is where things get heavy. Because even with everything we know, there are still so many unanswered questions hanging in the air over this case. Mike was outside the Sweet 100 cocktail bar in the early hours of the morning. It was a Saturday. It was late or early, depending on how you look at it. 3 people were shot. 2 of the victims were found right in front of the bar. Mike was found across the street, separated from them. That detail right there, the separation, is something investigators have been looking at closely. It raises questions. Was he targeted specifically? Was he trying to get away? Did whoever did this follow him across that street? Detroit Police Department spokesperson Jasmine Barmore confirmed the basics, the location, triple shooting, but said almost nothing else. No suspect description, no motive release, no arrest as of days following the shooting. The 2 surviving victims were not publicly identified, which means their accounts, if they gave any, have not been shared with the public either. The investigation is being handled by Detroit's homicide unit. Crime Stoppers is offering the public a way to share tips anonymously at 1-800-SPEAK, up or through Detroit Rewards TV. But as of right now, the streets are quiet on this one, and that silence in a case as high profile is unsettling. What we do know is this. Mike Brown was at a late-night establishment in a residential neighborhood, and his death has reignited Detroit about after-hour spots and the violence that can sometimes spill out of them. Community group New Era Detroit came out almost immediately after the shooting, calling on the city to pass ordinances limiting how late businesses in residential areas can stay open. Pastor Maurice Mo Hardwick, founder of the Live and Peace movement, and someone who knew Mike personally, said he believes an ordinance is coming and that the community is going to push hard for it. But here's the part that sits with you. Now that brings Mike back. His restaurants are still there. His name is still on the walls. His staff still shows up. His family still wakes up every morning in a world where he no longer exists. And somewhere out there, the person or people responsible for pulling that trigger are still walking free. Now I want to talk to you directly for a second, because this is the part of these stories that I think we don't discuss enough. When someone like Mike B. Brown is killed, someone who was a pillar, a builder, a father, a community anchor, what does that do to people around him? What does it do to the young person who worked in his kitchen and saw him as proof that it was possible to make it?
Right.
What does it do to a neighborhood that watched him turn an empty storefront into something that made them proud? What does it do to his children? There's a theory in psychology called ripple effect of violence. The idea that when one person is killed, the trauma doesn't stop at the crime scene. It spreads outward like rings in water, touching everyone who ever loved that person, looked up to them, or simply felt safer knowing they existed. Mike B. Brown's murder sent those ripples all the way through Detroit and beyond. So here are the questions I want to leave you with today, and I genuinely want you to think about these. Why is it that in cases involving beloved community figures, the streets often go silent instead of speaking up? Is the fear of retaliation stronger than the love we claim to have for those we lose? And what does it say about us as communities when we mourn loudly on social media, but stay quiet when investigators need us most? Someone out there knows something. Someone always does. The question is whether they will find the courage to say it. If you have any information about the death of Michael Mike B. Brown, please contact the Detroit Police Department Homicide Unit or call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 1-800-SPEAK UP. You could be the reason this family finally gets the answers they deserve. And to you watching right now, if this story moved you, if it made you think, if it reminded you of someone you love or a community you care about, then do something simple but powerful, like this video. Subscribe to Crime Files. Click that bell icon so you're notified every time we drop a new story. Because these cases need voices. These families need people who refuse to look away. We're going to keep covering these stories until justice shows up. And we need you here with us when it.
Okay, so if you are just joining or if you've been here for a few minutes, okay, so this is Crime Investigation Tuesday with the Glam. All right, we thank you so much for tuning in with us on today. And we're covering the story today about Michael B. Out of Detroit, Michigan. As you heard, the restaurant owner was gunned down. Okay, so they don't have any suspects. What just came to me. Now I've listened to this a couple times. They have 3 people. With Michael B. being one of the persons, and then you have the other 2 victims that was across the street. Was there another person? Could there have been another person? Because the other 2 were also wounded, okay, but they lived. So was it possible there was another person? How did he end up across the street? Was he running? So those are a lot of questions. Was he being robbed? So it's missing something. Anyone have anything that they would like to add to the video? Anyone have anything they would have to add? Now, if you're in my Discord, I am going to be dropping updates and updates as they come in, as I follow the story, okay? Now, someone else sent me something else. So we're going to check, we'll check it out and see, how it goes. I got a strange feeling they are going to find out who did this. Yeah, I've got a strange feeling they are going to find out because he was a pillar in the community, doing something positive in the community, okay? So I definitely believe that they are going to find out who did that.
Still getting people, even though
Oh, wait a second. This.
I was just I was wow. Because you even get okay. Let me tell you, I just feel can we get hashtag cancel Trina in the chat, please? Hashtag cancel Trina B. I just felt bad. I just felt bad at that moment. I just felt bad at that moment. Let me talk, Joy. Let me explain. Let me tell you. There we go. Let me explain. Mexico said that love joy was, meaning that thing for them was you. And then she got it in the box. And she got it in the box. Yes. And said, she was back now of you. And then she started adding other people in my comments. So she was adding somebody in the comments, and I thought she was being funny. You know this. You know what I mean? I'm not even being funny. So I said, love joy. So don't. Yeah, she told me, yeah, she told me about all of that. Yeah, Trina, this is not somebody who I don't know. This is somebody who I know. Oh, yeah, and did a whole bunch of stuff, even like on here, people who have come on and told their story and said, you know what? I got a phone call. Can I go? That's not the problem. That's telling me the problem. So y'all need to go over there and check them. I didn't say that. I didn't say nothing to you. I said, what the hell? No. Okay. No. I want Charlie to go and check your please. Okay.
See that?
I'll get down.
And that's your stinking ass white tongue having daddy. You see that shit?
Cause I feel like I'm being checked.
Hell. Step out of here. Oh,
Trina, you wrong, Trina. You real wrong.
He just know that he feel like he being checked, honey. Oh, Lord, that's about to go down. For real. Oh, y'all hold on. It's about to be a day. Y'all hold on. Baby.
I'm not running my support away. I don't feel like I'm being checked. I feel like I'm
Talk to you later. Okay.
What is Trina B talking about?
No. I got some traveling to do. So once I get where I'm going, I'll be back. Okay. I'm going live. I got some traveling to do. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Give me a few hours. I gotta get my stuff together. I gotta get out of here. All right. That's what I do. That's some traveling to do. All right. So I'll see you guys later. God bless. God bless.
Okay, so give me a second, y'all. I gotta go out. Okay, so let me go back to Rumble. There's a video I want to hear right quick before I leave. There's a video that I do want to hear. Thank you guys for what had happened. I'm not sure, Chick. I know it was something with the gifters. It was something with Messy Carter and the gifter. And Trina B told the gifter to pretty much stop gifting them. Yeah, it was something with the gifters or something. I'm looking for the video someone just sent me, but there's so many videos in here. Okay, so was Trina B callers making calls to the jail? Why is they calling the jail? These people.
One ingredient triggers the same weight loss response as a $1,000 injection in just 1 week. The simple formula works wonders because it.
Fuck that TV.
You can't though, because you're doing this shit in front of this live. Okay? And I'm about to beat your ass up in here. I'm telling you right now, you're doing too much goofy ass shit. You are. These people can hear you. I'm not gonna tell your goofy ass that no more. I'm not. No, I'm not finna mute it because I'm live. And I done told a retarded motherfucker that these people gonna be thinking they can play with you. So they gonna play with you, not me. You ain't that retarded. Motherfuckers say shit a joke. Maybe they have to see shit for what it is. And I promise you, I'll sit back and not give one fuck. Stupid. Play stupid games and get stupid prize. That was for any motherfucker. Gonna play dumb, you're gonna get treated dumb in this bitch.
Oh, come on. I guess
If I had permission or not, I knew exactly everything I did was legal.
So everything I did was legal. So don't ask me no questions if it was a recording or what was said and how it was said and what was said and all that. Everything I did was legal.
Yeah, I think Trina called the jail too.
I don't care what they say and how they say it. I don't care what they say and how they say it. Everything I did was legal.
Okay, I think Trina called the jail as well.
Let me say this. You had a chance to come came back to a host spot. You had a chance when Tyler Beck walked up into a wearing children kids. You had a chance.
I'm not going like the floor.
You are Trinity. You wrong. Okay, this the
A pharmacy, if you want to
okay,
have
this the
medical
car I was looking
freedom,
for, y'all. This
one of the
yeah.
foundational elements of that is pharmacy.
Fuck that TV.
You can't though, because you're doing this shit in front of this live. Okay? And I'm about to beat your ass up in here. I'm telling you right now. You're doing too much goofy ass shit. You are. These people can hear you. I'm not gonna tell your goofy ass that no more. I'm not. No, I'm not finna mute it because I'm live. And I done told the retarded motherfucker that these people gonna be thinking they can play with you. So they gonna play with you, not me. You ain't that retarded. Motherfuckers think shit a joke. Maybe they have to see shit for what it is. And I promise you, I'll sit back and not give one foot. Stupid. Play stupid games, you get stupid pride. That was for any motherfucker. Gonna play dumb, you're gonna get treated dumb in this bitch.
And they didn't even ask about you raise fucking raise. You can raise whatever the fuck you want to raise, but whatever the fuck you want to raise it for. Okay, this was specific questions. Specific questions of can somebody who's incarcerated be online streaming on an app asking for cash apps? That's the question you should have asked. Not can we raise money? Because that's the stuff. That's of course you can do whatever the fuck you want to do for whoever you want to raise it for. But the question is, can they be online? Can they themselves ask for the cash app? Number one, can they themselves be online? Number two, those are the two questions that are supposed to be asked. And since the people who are trying to vindicate Jazzy couldn't do it correctly, okay, I called down to the jails and got the correct answer. Go ahead and play this recording. This is me. Right. So here we go. So at first it was 300. Trina made 301. Now Truth Tell is 302. Wait. They don't need no Creole. Press 2 for jail facilities. Anybody else who wants to call. Oh, now he trying to get the people to come. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Yeah, I guess I do have to take it. I'm talking about this. Yeah. I'm taking a break. Come on. I'm not fucking around. They asked you to press the million damn buttons just to get to a damn line. No, I'm not fucking around with these niggas all day. Associate representative, whatever you want to call them. A break will be had, child. Good, here we go. Can you hear me? I hear you now.
I'm sorry. For some reason, my phone wasn't working anyway. Let me skip over that. I'm calling because my wife is currently she's waiting for trial. But I just have one question. My question is this: if she calls me on her on the tablet, like a FaceTime visit. Now, if she calls me on a FaceTime visit, and I'm currently like streaming on social media, am I allowed to let her speak to the social media app and ask for cash apps or ask for donations? Is that against the law? Because somebody told me that's against the law. They'll disconnect the call if somebody if they become aware of it, because nobody never disconnected the call. But I don't think if they were listening, they would know that she was actually online because I had her on a second device.
Mr. D, what's going on, baby?
On a different phone and just like had her in the background. But somebody did tell me, oh, you can't do that. That's illegal. Don't have her on the phone.
Now, true tell, why did you call down there and lie like that was your wife?
Now that right
there. Why did you call down there and lie and tell them folks that was your wife?
Now that was wrong.
So I'm just calling to find out, is that in fact illegal or not? Okay, all right, so that's my first question. So my second question is this: how about, okay, having her on the phone is one thing, but how about her asking for cash apps? Is that allowed? Okay, so I just want to, okay, so that's definitely.
So they'll just cancel the call.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I just wanted to verify that because I was notified and I had no clue that I was doing something that wasn't allowed. Okay, thank you so much, man.
Okay, so there you have it. Okay, it is prohibited, should not be done. Okay, and hey, go ahead and knock yourselves out. Keep giving Jazzy Terry this bum advice. And one other thing, Tommy K is a protected party. Tommy K did not have to stay away order. Jazzy had to stay away order. Okay, so Tommy K is allowed to talk about whatever the fuck she wants to talk about. Okay, she's the protected party. That's how it goes in the court system when you have a stay away order. Okay, Tommy K is not stalking anybody. If anybody who goes live to talk about her, to talk about her or mention her, she in fact does have the right to respond, to cut you commentary, do whatever she wants with it. And if she feels threatened, she has every right to call the DA and send it in. Point blank, period. And can't nobody do anything about it.
They threatened for what?
She doesn't have to record it. Doesn't be on anybody. Nobody has ever heard.
But you know, she doesn't have to do it because y'all do it. You're right. She doesn't have to do it because y'all do it. That is crazy. Okay, I just want to listen to that, guys. Just give me a second here. Yeah, that's crazy. I ain't never saw nothing like the stuff these people do in my life, y'all. I'm just here to tell you, I've never seen some of the things that these people do. Now, to call down there and say XYZ for what? You know, for what? That is crazy. That is crazy work. All right. Well, good morning. It's still morning. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having a blessed day so far. We've covered a couple topics so far. Once again, if there's any new people in here, okay, it's not that many people in here. Okay, so everyone that's in here more than likely is already following. Good morning, Onyx. How are you? How you doing? We're rising. Well, the Big O Streets is dead. Yeah, it's not too much going on the Big O Streets. All right. All right. Thank you, Miss Janice. Thank you so much. I see that you did like me over on the others page. Um, well, I'm just saying, from what I saw so far, I don't think there's too much going um, on the Vigo streets. Yeah, I don't think there's too much going on the Vigo streets. But I just want to say thank each and every one of you for tuning in with me on today. Do you know Papo's made a diss track about 50? No, no, wait a second. You know what? I saw them two kind of lined up, and I was wondering why were they together? You know who goes and Pum Pum a funeral home at someone's funeral? Okay, so he's trying to get some of the action. He's trying to get he's trying to get some of the PR.
Yo, yo, yo. Fuck Curtis Jack, that's what came to mind soon as I heard the track. While spitting lyrical, condescending the murder rap. Heard he shot his ass for the Nina. He deserved the max. About to turn the heat up, I got my hand on the thermostat. Ugly ass G in with sneakers. Had to shirt to match, cause after get rich and die trying, yeah, every verse was wet. Man, cause Diddy hit your chick. Really jerk for that. Diddy clap the cheek so loud the neighbors heard the slap. That's why you made that documentary. You was hurt from that. I heard she fucked all 5,000 and bring the burger back. Spoke to some conspiracy theorists. They said the earth is flat. They also said you weren't for Illuminati. Nervous rat. What would make this chump think that he could spit a verse, but perhaps somebody better pray for this nigga? Where the church is at, if it wasn't for him, you'll be looking for a person smash. Bought your girl away and you told her to return it back. Figure you a petty son of a bitch. Bernie Mac killing this nigga salty. Lauren Hill, the murder flag.
What? So what he trying to do? Is he trying to get in on the free PR? Is that what he trying to do? Is he trying to get in on the free PR? Oh man, I forgot. Oh God, I hope they don't. I forgot you can't play music on this other. 50 Cent talks about his girlfriend too much. Yeah, he do. He do. So he tried Papa. Is it Papos or Poppies? He trying to get in on the action. That's what I believe because it's free PR. So he trying to jump in and fit in where he can get in. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I know my numbers will climb. I know that they will climb. The more that you guys see me coming on and see me doing my thing. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, well, we've been here since this morning. Definitely want to thank each and every one of you. I got to see how am I going to connect this up here, right? Yeah, he tried. That wasn't no diss track. That was lame. What did y'all think about that diss track? What did y'all think about the diss? Was that a diss track? I don't know. Okay, if I had to rate that diss track, I think I would give it a 0. If I had to rate that diss track, I think I would give it a 0. He's a different type of artist. He is below the belt. All in words but riddle. Okay, well that wasn't too much of that wasn't too much of anything, if you ask me. I mean, what did he say? I mean, that wasn't leave the beef between 50 and T.I. Leave the beef between 50 and T.I. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Leave it over there. Yeah. All right, thank you guys. Hey, make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys, for me. We will be back at 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock straight up. All right, and you can tune in to Uncensored with the Glam podcast, and we will be coming with you early morning, 6 a.m. in the morning. You can also tune in to us, and yeah, if you need to join my Discord, please just inbox me and let me know. Hey, Miss Glam, I want to get you up in your Discord. That took my breath. That took my breath a little bit. That wasn't all that. And I'm not even a rapper kind of girl. Okay. I'm not even a rapper kind of girl. Okay. All right. Next. Tomorrow. Okay, say tomorrow. Say tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow is going to be advice on Wednesday. All right, so tomorrow all we're gonna be talking about, y'all, is advice. Okay, advice on Wednesday. So let me ask you something. Who is the best person to give advice on marriage? Who's the best to give advice on marriage? What do you think? Who's the best to give advice on marriage? You'll be surprised. Somebody that's married. Okay, okay, okay. So someone that has been married, made mistakes, somebody that's been married, made some mistakes, can say, hey, you know, this might be a good thing. This might not be a good thing. Okay. Right. Okay. Now I have an aunt that's been married 60 years. And I think they would be good at giving marriage advice. 60 years? Yeah. Yeah. Because they've weathered a lot of storms. They still together, you know. And I think people that have been married. Now, people think sometimes talking to people that are divorced is not a good thing. Okay. They feel that talking to someone that's divorced is not a good thing because they're divorced. Okay. Now, I would say they are good people to talk to because you can ask them, well, hey, what did you do wrong? What did you do wrong? Okay. Because I can think of 1,000 things that I did wrong, you know, or just didn't know any better at the time. One thing I do know, most men that are looking to get married, they are looking for a partner. Okay. They're looking for a partner. They're not looking for a girlfriend. They're not looking for someone that's going to be hanging out all night, arguing, complaining. They're not looking for that. They're looking for a partner. Okay. That is what they are looking for. Okay. So in my little short, that's going to be on Wednesdays. That's going to be every Wednesday. So guys, get whatever questions you have. You can email them to me at uncensoredwiththeglam@gmail.com. Okay, that's going to be every Wednesday. Okay, advice on Wednesday. Okay, if you're in my Discord, you can see the whole agenda. Okay, that way you know what Miss Glam is going to be talking about, and you know what topic. Now, people do still send in videos. Okay. Now, if you don't see your video that particular day, because it might be on an opposite day, okay? So instead of me being all over the place, talking about this video, that video, we're gonna set it in categories, okay? How does that sound, Onyx? We're gonna set it up in categories, okay? And we're gonna do that category, and then that way, on that following Tuesday, when we do our investigation Tuesday, we'll do our updates. Okay. Now you can also find, yes, and then we're gonna have a break in between, and we want the audience participation. Okay. So we're gonna have a whole section for the audience to jump up in the box or jump up on the panel, you know, however I have it set up for that day. Okay, we want we want to hear from the audience. Yeah, we want to hear. That's the point of a show. Okay, that's the point of a show, is to hear, you know, the different thoughts of everyone. Okay, now on Sunday, I think everybody forgot, but on Sunday, guys, that's when we do our Women of Virtue. Is on Sunday. Don't forget, Sunday at 11:30. That's when we do our Women of Virtue on Sunday. Okay. Now, some Sundays, you know, we may switch it up. I may say somebody else run the show. Someone else just take the show. You know, what topic do you have? And I'm gonna sit back and we're gonna let Onyx. We're gonna say Onyx. We're gonna say Onyx, run the show for today. You know, what's your topic? Okay, does that sound like fine as well? Okay, I know everyone's not a broadcaster. I do understand that. Okay, however, and some people may say, no, Miss Graham, you know, I don't want to do that, and that's fine. So we'll pick someone else. Okay, but we just want the participation, you know, from everybody. And we want everyone to know that this is not just Glam's show. This is our show. Okay. All right. So advice on Wednesday. Advice on Wednesday. So you can check the calendar. Okay, and see. Okay. What is Ms. Glam going to be talking about today? Okay. Now we will do our little insert for Vigo. Okay, we are going to do our little insert there for Vigo. Okay, we'll have that. But I like the way this is going to be set up. Also, I have a Bible trivia. But hey, I was just thinking about you today, sweetie. I was just thinking about you yesterday. Yes. Hi. Yep, I was just thinking about you. I said, I hope sweet, hope all is well. You know, oh, so now we gotta have our political day. Hi, Miss Janice. Oh, thank you. Yes, we have to have our political day. Okay, so we're going to be having one day that we'll do our political day. Okay, Sunday is a word of, women of virtue. Sunday, 11:30, guys, is women of virtue. Okay, good morning. Good morning. Okay, so definitely tune in with us. Okay, on Sunday, check the Discord, guys, see what's on there for that agenda. Right now, we are studying First Samuel. Right now, we're studying First Samuel because people, the young lady was in the live the other day, and she said, Miss Glam, she said, I always wonder why God allows things to happen. Why does God allow, like the war? Why is all of this going on? And you can get God's perfect will, or you can get God's permissive will. Okay, you can get his perfect will, or you can get his permissive will. Okay, so this is God's permissive will, because the people wanted a king. They didn't want God to be. They didn't want us to remain a democracy. You know what I'm saying? And they may not have realized that they were getting a king when they kept, murmuring and complaining that they didn't want this president, they didn't want that president, they wanted Trump. Okay, now they see, especially, oh God, I hope these people are trying to make me do jury duty. Lord have mercy, please. Thank you, Miss Janice. Oh Lord, I hope these folks is not trying to have me do jury duty. I just sent them my letter, y'all, stating that, I am permanently disabled, and we can't do that, okay? Look, just because I get up and put my makeup on, let me tell you something. When you look good, you feel good. I'm a true believer in that, okay? I'm a true believer. If you look good, you'll feel good about yourself, okay? So yes, I get up, shower, and get myself together. You're not right, Miss Janice. So I tell these doctors, let me tell you something. I take what you say. I have to know what you say, so I would know what to pray for. So if you saying is this okay? I'm not one of those persons to say, oh, I'm not receiving that. I'm not doing this, and I'm not doing that. Okay. Now I can take what you have to know. There's a book I've been telling everybody to get. It's called Strong Man Is His Name. What is his game? So you have to know, hey, Bougie, you got to know what's the name of that spirit. What is the name of that thing? Okay. So I'm just not one of them ones. I say, Lord, I'm healed, though. I'm healed. I'm healed. Okay. I am healed by your stripes. Every stripe that you took, I'm healed. Okay. Now that's what I speak. So I did this paper over there to them about jury duty. I said, y'all wait all these years, all these many, many years, decades, to have me come down there for jury duty. I'm just not feeling it. But anyway, all right, so guys, join us tomorrow. So the topic for tomorrow is going to be advice on Wednesday. That's our theme, advice on Wednesday. So now, who is the best person to get marriage advice from? Who is the best person to get marriage advice from? Do y'all notice these young folks that they don't even want to get married no more? They don't want to get married. They say get married for what? Okay, so who would be the best person? Who would be the best person to get marriage advice from. Is it okay? Is it okay for the woman to stay at home? Be a stay-at-home mom in the 21st century? Okay. Some feel that if the husband can afford for his wife to stay at home, then she stays at home. Some men feel that it's their job for him to take care of the home, provide, and the woman is to see after the children. Okay, so those are some, just a couple of questions that rolled off the top of my head. But so we're gonna have advice on Wednesday. Who's the best person? Okay, I got an aunt that's been married 60 years. Okay, and I'm quite sure they had their ups and downs, but I've never seen them displaced in those 60 years. I never saw them displaced in any kind of way. All right. So if I did, I did. When I got married to my husband, I did. I went to my aunt and uncle, and I was like, this thing is scary. This is scary. So first thing she said, did you pray about it? See, people, they're not praying before they do things. Okay. They are not praying before they do things. Okay. Oh my Vigo BS. Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. If you're not following me over on my YT, right on it. If you're not following me over on my YT, please follow me on YT. It is Uncensored with the Glam. And I want to thank my YT users for sitting here with me right now while I do this thing. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Make sure there is the donation button there. All gifts are appreciated, and I thank you so much. All right, yeah, so Glam doing her thing, y'all. I got my agenda together. So, like I said, we talked about Mike B this morning, which is a Detroit restaurant owner that was unalive. He was a pillar in his community, so we're going to keep up with that. He was the father of five children, married, but why be out at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning? Okay, does anyone know what they call the witching hour? When the demonic spirits pretty much are at work. Hey, HR, is that Cushy? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, is that Kush? Good morning, beautiful. Good morning. Hey, have you had the baby? Have you had the baby? Oh, girl, I know you're huge. I know you're huge. You're back? Okay, okay. All right, so give me 1 second, you guys. All right, so now for Vigo News, we covered that a little bit. We talked about the Jazzy Cherry phone call or phone calls that were made regarding the CAs and the tablet, and I'll be glad when she gets home. And I just pray. I pray that she learned something from this experience. You know what I'm saying? Us older women, us more mature, us mature women, we got a lot to say. We have a lot to say. Hopefully tomorrow, some of my mature women will speak up, and just address the crowd, not Bigo, just period. Okay. Uh, uh, it will be recorded and we will post it on my YT channel. Okay. People do click by, it's small now, but despise not small beginnings. Okay. I just think us women, we have a whole lot to say. We give birth. We have to think about that. We give birth to life. Okay. So that means that we can control that. To a certain degree, we can speak into that. We can speak into the atmosphere. Okay, we can speak it. Us midwives. Okay, so meaning that we can birth. Okay, Onyx, you still in here? So hopefully you have something to say tomorrow. Shiny, No Kicks, Edge. Sweet Tea still here. Sweet Tea. I know they said they not listening. That's okay. You speak it anyway. You speak it anyway. Because guess what? Because if God gives you a word for you to release, you want to release it. You want to release it into the atmosphere. Okay? It might fall, my light just went out. It may fall on deaf ears. Okay? Or you may think that it's falling on deaf ears. Okay? But, all right, so my light went out. Okay. Yeah, but we one second, y'all. Mm. Okay. And then we'll have our day that we will talk about our politics and what's going on over there. I saw something today where Trump said that the war should be ending soon. You know, I know I will be glad. It was so sad because I watched where they were bringing some of the troops home that had got unalived over there. That broke my heart. Um, I have two grandsons that's in the military, and one of my grandsons ended up with PSTD, and I knew my baby was different when he came home. But I never thought about that. I never thought about that he got that affected by being over. Not this war. This was the one before that. It was something that was going on, and he was gone. He was gone almost a year. Okay, and I never thought about it, but I noticed he wasn't returning my calls. And I was like, why? I said, why is he not calling me back? I mean, he was always so cheerful and, hey, grandma, and he just wasn't like that when he came back. And so I noticed every time I would say, well, he's not calling me back, and, my daughter would brush it off. His brother would brush it off. Everybody just kind of brushed it off. So when I had a minor surgery last week, and actually I'm going today for my follow-up. And he had to take me to the doctor. He was the one who ended up having to come pick me up. So we started talking, and he ended up, telling me, and I said, wow. I said, okay. And he told me, he said, I'll be looking at the phone, grandma. He said he looks at it and just don't respond. So I'm like, I didn't ask, I didn't want to dig too far because I wanted him to talk and tell me how he felt, you know. So I didn't ask a lot of questions. So I said, well, the next time, that I see him, hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk again. But he did say that they're going through marriage counseling. So it was just a lot of things that I didn't know. They don't tell me nothing. They don't tell me. So um, I just said, I'm gonna pray for you. So before I went in for my surgery, I said, let's pray. So we prayed, and he took me home. We stopped and got something to eat. But like I said, he just wasn't the same. Okay. So I pray for these mothers and grandmothers. They got these children and grandchildren over there fighting. fighting a war that's not even our war to fight. And see, that's what happens too, guys. Like even here on B-Dog, people calling down there, the woman made a bad choice by going to attack that, fight that other lady. She made a bad choice, so now she's dealing with the consequences of her choice. But at this point, leave it alone at this point. It's not your fight anymore. And then people jumping in it, and it's not their fight. They should be looking at the war. I haven't heard anybody talk about. I heard Trina B, talk about it, but I haven't really heard anybody, on this side, talking about the war and talking about the people that has been affected. Yeah, no, I haven't heard anybody talk about that. And it's very, very, very important because, like I said, young people has lost their lives. My grandson came back, and like I said, my baby is not the same. He is not the same. And actually, he's trying to get out, and I'm glad. He's trying to get. Well, he's getting out. Because he has the PTS. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So he has that. So he is trying to get out. My other grandson, he's still in. So they said he probably, he said he probably will stay in. But I pray for them people. I pray for the parents and the grandparents, the mother, the fathers, because it's a sad thing. And let me say this, guys. I know that we are born to die. We all will have our day, okay? However, in something like this, is senseless as a war that we didn't have anything to do with. Like Russia has jumped in now to help Iran, okay? They jumped in to help Iran, okay? He did 20 years and still, okay. 1994 was his first. Yeah. Oh God, I don't know how they do it, but only the strong, and I commend our men and women, that have been in and now they're out. I commend them. Because the things my grandson was sharing, you got bombs, and then he was saying too. I guess like where they be stationed at. I guess like their headquarters in that particular region. So what happened is he said they bombed it a couple times. Law enforcement is just as bad. Yeah, he said they bombed it. So basically you got bombs, you got missiles, you got all this stuff coming at you. And he said he was terrified. He said, Grandma, I was terrified. He said, I ain't never saw nothing, like this in my life. And I said, I was sitting there, I was speechless. I was just speechless because I know even when he told me he was going to the army, I said, you sure? Because he just don't have that type of spirit to kill. He just don't have it. It says when he leaves, it doesn't change. Right. Exactly, Miss Janice. So anyway, I don't want to linger on that too long because I'll be over here crying. Let's pray for them people. Let's pray, for the ones that's over there, fighting. Let's definitely pray, for them. All right, guys, don't forget tomorrow. Tomorrow is advice on Wednesday. Who is it better to get advice from? A married couple, unmarried couple, divorced couple. Okay, we're gonna throw single people in there too, because so many times married women go to unmarried women to get advice. They go to unmarried women. I'm talking about women that's never been married. I ain't talking about divorced women. I'm talking about they go to unmarried women to get advice. Okay. Now I had a girlfriend used to come to me, and all the time, But she was full. She was a handful. And I told her, I said, girl, you are a handful. I said, you are so disrespectful. I told her, I said, you are so disrespectful. My phone is lagging. Yeah, it is really lagging. I don't know what Bigo is doing, y'all. Yeah, but it is really lagging. Also, guys, don't forget about April 5th. Don't forget about April 5th. We are having the battle, okay? Murder the Mic battle. Don't forget, if you know anyone, I hope I can have it. You know, I hope I get enough contestants, you know, that would like to join in on it. I did get a couple of entries from off of Facebook. But let's see, you know, let's see. Beto just want the mess. That's all they want is mess. You know, we pray everyone. Yes, we pray that everyone leaves okay. But I was watching yesterday, and they were bringing bodies, you know, back from the ones that had been unalived over there. Yeah. All right. All right, I'm going to close this section out. Thank you so much. Please stay tuned. We will be back at 1 o'clock, and thank you so much for streaming with me today. Okay.